Hello guys or ladies, hope you all are doing well. As you guys know, we all want to learn a language in order to communicate, to be able to use it. And that's why in today's lesson it is gonna be more of a speaking lesson than grammar or vocabulary. That's why I'm going to teach you the basic on how to build on a conversation, a small conversation, not very difficult. But please, before we get into the video, make sure you press the three golden buttons, the like, subscribe, and the notification bell, in order to be notified for any future video. So without further ado, let's get started into the main video. So as you guys know, whenever we want to communicate with someone, the first thing that we say, how are you? Now, how are you in English isn't like how are you in Arabic. Well, it's kind of like it can't be translated exactly the same way, but it makes sense in Arabic, but would it make sense in English? And there are lots of ways how to say how are you. Just like in English, we have how are you, how you doing, and lots more. In today's video, I'll be teaching you how the most common one that you might hear on streets or learn in any Arabic books. The first one is how to say how. How is كيف, not chief, شايف. كيف is how. كيف is how. And how do we say status? Status is حال, الحال. So literally in Arabic, the English version of how are you, we say how is your status. كيف الحال. كيف الحال. Sometimes you would hear it كيف الحال. كيف الحال. This is how you say how are you in Arabic, but literally it means how's your status. And just to point something out, we do have the punctuation as same as in English, but it's just that you kind of gonna mirror the question mark into the right side, not to the left. So كيف الحال, كيف الحال is a way to say how are you in Arabic. Now I know guys, you probably be like, but you taught us you means أنت if it is a boy, أنتي if it is a female, أنتما, أنتم, أنتن. Yes, I know that, but in Arabic you don't ever say how you. If I said كيف أنت, it would literally means how you, and that is incorrect. We say how are you, كيف الحال, what's your status. It is just the way how it is, you just have to memorize it, or I'd rather say understand it. Understand that how is كيف when we ever want to begin in a question, and حال is just the way how we say or ask about your current situation, like now, how do you feel. Now you guys don't have to panic. I know Arabic is still new for you, and I'm here to make it easy. You can just use the word كيف and add next to it any ضمير متصل in the end after the فاء in order to make sense. Now كيف الحال in general, it is just how are you, doesn't matter what gender you are, just how's everything. Literally that's what it means, how's the status of everything. So the word how itself could be worked out to say how are you, but just by using the word how. So we start using the word كيف, and we add a kaf with a fatha, كيفك. If it is one boy, a male boy, كيفك means how are you to a guy. And كيفك, a kaf and a kasra in the end we add to make it for a female. كيفك is how are you for a female. And we add the kaf meme come when you see a lot, or like for they, how are you all? كيفكم like to everyone. And for females, but they are feminine, you say كيفكن, always the kaf and noon in the end. كيفكن. Let's repeat what we did. How are you? We took the word how, which means كيف, and how are you is literally means how is your state. Status is called الحال. Please be careful with the word كيف, because sometimes you would hear it كيف. Be careful. كيف. General it is كيف. Official or the proper Arabic and the formal كيف. Okay? But if you think the word كيف الحال is too hard for you, you could only use the word كيف. But if it is a male who you are talking to, you would say كيفك. Not كيفك, كيفك. Now again, this is just the informal Arabic. The formal Arabic is just كيف الحال. Okay, but in streets and comedy, if you want to visit any Arabic country, you would hear كيفك. And for a female, you would hear كيفك. And for plural, you would say كيفكم. Doesn't matter if it is males only or males and females at the same time. And lastly, for females, the plural of a feminine, you would say كيفكن. Let's repeat one more time. How are you is actually how is your status, the current situation. كيف الحال. For singular male, you would say كيفك. Female, كيفك. A lot of people, how are you all? كيفكم. And for plural, for female or feminine, you would say كيفكن. كيفك, كيف الحال, كيفك, كيفكن. Now let's move on to the لغة عربية الفصحى, which is the proper Arabic. Let's say for now the official Arabic, like the original Arabic. If you want to learn how to say how are you in the official Arabic, it's again كيف, but you don't say it كيف, you say كيف الحال. كيف الحال, it means how are you to someone that you are talking to. Doesn't matter if it was a female or a male. So I do not want to go in depth, but I'm just going to tell you in the official Arabic you say كيف الحال. But in the general Arabic, that is more common and that's what you would see more. It is كيفك, كيفك, كيفكم. In my previous video, I've already told you how do we say hi in Arabic. It's either مرحبا or salam. Just in case if you forgot, مرحبا is the official proper Arabic and we still use it. Salam, it is the general Arabic. So how do we say hi, how are you to a female? Please pause the video, make a comment if you would like to answer. I'll check them all and think of the answer. Wait and stop for a minute. Have you subscribed to my channel? If not, then go ahead, subscribe, like and comment down below for any suggestions or any questions, or if you have any problem in Arabic. I may help you if I could. And back to the video. So I asked you how do we say hi, how are you, and it is a female that is in front of you. You would say مرحبا كيفك. مرحبا كيفك. Or you could say سلام كيفك. Both ways is right and both ways are common. Just if you got the answer wrong, it's okay, we'll do another exercise for now. How do you say hi, how are you everyone? I've already taught you that. Please pause the video, make a comment or make a guess. Don't guess, just understand it. Arabic is more of like an understanding language, not a guessing language. So make sure you try doing the exercise. Okay, ready? Hi is marhaba, and كيفكم is for everyone. So hi كيفكم or مرحبا كيفكم. Sorry, I didn't mean to say hi كيفكم. مرحبا كيفكم, it means hi, how are you everyone? Let's hope you guys got it right. Moving on to replying. How do we reply when someone says how are you? كيف حالك or كيف الحال or كيف حالكم. Now we always start with the word I'm fine. So أنا is me, whatever I is أنا, and fine is منيح. أنا منيح. أنا منيح is the word the sentence when we put أنا and منيح next to each other. It means I'm fine, I'm good. منيح means good. I'm fine, I'm good. أنا منيح. Now there is something that I never had told you about. Okay, منيح or fine, it's kind of like an adjective in Arabic. It is describing your feelings or describing something. That's what an adjective is. And when you ever see an adjective, and if you are a female, you say أنا منيحة. أنا منيحة, not أنا منيح. أنا منيحة. As you have noticed, in أنا منيحة we only added a تاء مربوطة in the end of the word, in the end of the adjective, meaning that if you are a female, you would always add a تاء مربوطة right in the end of the word. أنا منيحة, I'm good. If you are a female, remember that. Moving on, and this is informal but very common. Another way of how to say how or what is شو. Bear in mind, I'm just teaching you what is common and not what is the formal. The formal one is ماذا, but ماذا is more of like a what only. In today's video, I'm only teaching you how only. So شو could also mean how. It is common and you would hear it a lot. So how do we say how are you but with the شو? You could hear شو الحال in general. For a singular male, شو حالك. A singular female, شو حالتك. There is a ta in the middle. And for plural, you say شو حالكم. And finally for feminine but plural, you say شو حالتكم. شو حالك, شو حالتك, شو حالكم, شو حالتكم. This is not very important, but if you hear it, this just means how are you. Don't freak out. It's just another way you say how are you. Do you have to remember it? It's up to you. Moving on with again another way of how to say how are you with the word شو. You could also say شو الأخبار. Now أخبار means news, your news. So شو الأخبار is what are the news, not necessarily the news that you see on TV, but like what are the news, what's your news. So you say شو أخبارك, شو أخبارك, شو أخباركم, or شو أخباركن. Same thing, nothing changed. Or you could also say أخبارك, أخبارك. You could just remove the word شو. Remember guys, it's not necessary to put the word شو. You can just say أخبارك, like what, how are you, what are new, or what are the news. أخبارك, أخباركم, أخباركن. Okay, you don't have to put شو. Moving on to another way of how do we say how are you. It comes with what's your color. It literally would mean what's your color. We add on the word color. It means لون, and we say شو لونك. It means what is your color. We say this because if you are ill, you usually get pale, so the color of your skin would change. It will be pale. That's why we ask what's your color, as if like a metaphorical way of how to say how are you. Don't freak out if it isn't difficult, but in Arabic you would hear a lot of metaphors that are more common than the original Arabic. So when you see or hear anyone says شو لونك, it doesn't mean what is your color. It means are you okay, or like how are you, or if you are ill, you wouldn't be as the same color as you used to be. Please bear in mind that for شو لونك you must add the word شو. So for singular male you say شو لونك, and for a female شو لونك, and for the plural شو لونكم. I recommend you to say شلونكم fast, not شو لونكم. شلونكم fast. Say it fast. And for females, you say شلونكن. So let's repeat. How are you? شو لونك. شو لونكن. Please be fast now. شلونك. شلونكن. Arabs are fast speakers, so if you want to master Arabic and speak like an Arab, you have to be fast. When you want to hear how are you, you have to reply I'm fine. How do we say I'm fine? I never taught you this, but I've told you ضمائر المتكلم, which are أنا and نحن. And since when you are going to be talking about yourself or a group of people you are in, you must always start with أنا or نحن. And fine is منيح. Bear in mind, if you are a female, if you are fine and you are a female, you say أنا منيحة, not منيح. أنا منيحة or أنا منيحة. أنا منيحة. Now I know you're not always fine, but for now I'm just gonna stop to this point. Later in other videos we will continue to tell you I'm not good, I have problem with my manager, I didn't do so well in an exam. We're gonna have all of these long and constructed conversations, but for now just know hi, how are you, and that's all for today. Okay, how about we now build a conversation or start chatting from our few words that we have learned. The chat would be between a boy and a girl. Only one boy and one girl. So the girl says, hi, how are you, to a guy. In Arabic she'll say, مرحبا, كيفك? He replies, I'm fine, and you? But in Arabic it's gonna be أنا منيح, وإنتي, wa is and you for a female. But in general Arabic, if it is a female, أنتي, I know that, I've already told you this, but again you can say وإنتي. It is gonna be right to put a ya in the end for a female. Now again you could say وأنتي, it is right. She replies, I'm fine, thank you. In Arabic it's gonna be أنا منيحة, شكرا. أنا منيحة, شكرا. Let's repeat the conversation one more time. مرحبا, كيفك؟ أنا منيح, وكيفك أنتي؟ أنا منيحة, شكرا. I guess that was all for today. No further words I'm gonna teach you in this video. We are already done. This is the way how to build in a short, small conversation of hi, how are you, in different types or different ways that Arabs usually use. Just before we end this video, I recommend you guys to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for us to support our channel and to be notified for our future videos. So this is not the end of the class, since I guys recommend you to keep on revising. Now, I don't want you guys to revise Arabic all on your own. Wouldn't be able to get the accent right. You just have to keep on listening and listening to another person teaching you, so that you could precisely or like almost get the accent or the pronunciation right. So we are now going to repeat what we have learned in this video. Don't skip it, keep watching till the end. So in this video, I have taught you 3 different ways on how to say how are you in Arabic. Now there are lots and lots of more ways of how to say how are you in Arabic, but I've only taught you what is common, what you would hear, like maybe 70% of Arabs uses these words or these ways. Let's start with way number 1 and the easiest, most common. I recommend you guys to learn this by heart. Is from the word كيف, which means how. For singular masculine, you say كيفك, كيفك. For singular feminine, you say كيفك, كيفك. For plural, males only, females and males, كيفكم, كيفكم. And for females, plural only, you say كيفكن, كيفكن. So let's repeat one more time. كيفك, كيفك, كيفكم, كيفكن. Now remember guys, and bear this in mind, this isn't the official Arabic. This isn't the one that you would see in books. It is not the official language, but it is the general common. You would hear this a lot. The official Arabic is for singular male كيف حالك, كيف حالك. We do nothing to كيف, we just write it the same way as it is. For singular female, you say كيف حالك, كيف حالك, كيف حالك. And for plural, it's gonna be كيف حالكم, كيف حالكم. For plural, but it is a female or like females are there, you say كيف حالكن, كيف حالكن. Let's repeat what we did. كيف حالك, كيف حالك, كيف حالكم, كيف حالكن. This is the proper, the formal, the official Arabic, you could say, on how to say how are you. You have to know this, but you aren't going to use it much in terms of communication if you are hitting the real Arab word. I've already taught you a 3rd way of how to say how are you in Arabic. I've taught you how to say news in Arabic, which comes from أخبار, أخبار, الأخبار. We then were taught how to say another way of how to say how, or it could also mean what. We took the word شو, شو, which could mean what or could mean how. It is very common, so get familiar to hear the word شو. And for singular male, or you say شو أخبارك, شو أخبارك, very common. And if it is a female you are talking to, شو أخبارك, شو أخبارك. There is also something that I forgot to mention. أخبارك or أخبار comes from the word خبر, which means to tell something. خبر, like tell us something, to tell something. Now let's go to plural. It could be a male or masculine or feminine. How do we say شو أخباركم, شو أخباركم. And for plural feminine, you say شو أخباركن. شو أخباركن. Again, let's repeat what we said. شو أخبارك. شو أخبارك. شو أخباركم. شو أخباركن. That is a third or maybe the fourth way of saying how are you. And the last way of how to say how are you comes from the verb lawn, which is color. You say again, keep on the shoe on. شو لونك, considering a singular masculine. شو لونك. And for singular feminine, you say شو لونك. شو لونك. For plural, شو لونكم. شو لونكم. It's pronounced as شلونكن. شلونكن. And for feminine plural, you say شلونكن. شلونكن. Let's repeat. شلونك. شلونك. شلونكم. شلونكن. That's it. That's how, I think that's all the ways how I taught you how to say how are you in Arabic. There are lots and lots of more ways, but stick to these ways and you would identify someone is asking you how are you. These are the most common ones, as I said. So now let's move on how to reply I'm fine. So as I told you, ضمائر المتكلم, which are أنا and نحن, means the verbs that you use when you are talking about yourself. أنا means I, me, anything that is related to I or me, you say أنا. And نحن, it is the verb as we are. أنا, نحن, we are. You are included in a group, or you are included within a group. Moving on to the word fine. Fine is منيح, but if you are a male, you say أنا منيح. If you are a female, you say أنا منيحة. أنا منيح. أنا منيحة. And let's move on to نحن. If they ask you كيفكم, you say نحن مناح. نحن مناح. I've already told you in my previous lesson about the singular and plural why it becomes مناح, why we replace the ya with an alif. نحن مناح. This is how you can transform any singular word into a plural. So how are you? If you are a male, you say أنا منيح, you reply. If you are a female, أنا منيحة. If they ask you كيفكم or كيف حالكم, كيف حالكم, you say نحن مناح. This is how you reply if you want to say I'm fine in Arabic. So moving on, and you, if you want to ask them and you for singular, وأنت, or you could say وإنت. وإنت. وأنت. وأنت. For singular feminine, you say وأنتي or وإنتي. وإنتي. وأنتي or وإنتي. Both is right. And for plural, males and females, you say وإنتم. وإنتم. Now guys, bear in mind the letter waw, which is pronounced as wa, it means and. Wa means and. So moving on to the plural, and it is a female plural, women's, you say وإنتن. Repeat one more time. وإنت, وإنتي, or وأنتي, وإنتم, وإنتن. This is how to say and you properly and improperly, formal and informal. Same way. وشكرا. Thank you for watching us. Hope you like it. Comment down below for any questions. Hope you enjoyed our video. Make sure you subscribe and bye. See you next video. مع السلامة.